Do you have the guts to take on the 10 most dangerous jobs in the world? Imagine earning $1 million just by lying in one place for a year. But there's a catch. You must sign a life or death contract. Win and you walk away rich. Lose and you lose everything. Would you take the risk if you were only making $3,000 a month? In this episode, we're diving into the most extreme, high-risk jobs on the planet. Hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you think you're brave enough. Rank 10, oil rig worker. Compared to regular labor, oil rig workers earn an average salary of over $100,000 per year. The longer they work, the higher their pay. But behind this attractive salary are many risks. Every year, many oil rig workers lose their lives due to workplace accidents. They work in an environment filled with flammable gases and liquids. Additionally, due to the nature of the job, they must leave their families to work in deserts or deep-sea locations alongside colleagues from all over the world. According to data from the U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, from 2003 to 2017, the fatality rate in this industry was 7 times higher than in other occupations in the U.S. Moreover, offshore oil rigs are built in waters thousands of meters deep. Working here is extremely stressful because the surroundings are filled with highly flammable substances. A single spark could cause a catastrophic fire. In the vast ocean, there is nowhere to run. Rank 9, Signal Tower Technician. Signal Tower Technician. Also known as aerial technician or tower climber, they specialize in maintaining and installing wireless signal towers. They must inspect and repair cables as well as lighting systems on tall towers. These signals? The height of these towers is usually several hundred meters. Tower climbers must free climb to the highest point. The tallest signal towers can reach over 600 meters. At the very top of the signal tower, an aviation warning light is usually installed to alert low-flying aircraft to stay away from tall towers, preventing collisions with signal towers. When these warning lights fail or certain wires encounter issues, a tower climber must ascend to perform repairs. They not only have to overcome their fears, but also carry repair tools with them. This presents a huge physical challenge as well. If they become exhausted midway, even with a safety rope, they could still hit their head and lose their life. Of course, the higher the risk, the greater the reward. A professional light bulb changer in the US can earn $20,000 per climb. By climbing just twice a year to replace bulbs, they can make $40,000. Rank 8, Sulfur Miner. Sulfur miners on Java Island, Indonesia. Doing one of the most extreme jobs in the world, every day they face dangers, inhaling toxic gases inside the volcano for 12 hours straight, breaking solid sulfur and transporting it out of the crater. Yet their daily income is only about 3 British pounds. On the Kawah Ijen volcano, Java, Indonesia, there is a unique type of lava. It is blue lava, which looks very impressive at night. Blue lava appears because the ground around contains a large amount of pure sulfur. When burned by the lava, it emits a blue glow. Sulfur miners face the risk of a volcanic eruption at any time to extract sulfur here. This place not only has lava, but also a large amount of toxic gases, mainly hydrogen sulfide in high concentrations of sulfur dioxide. Due to extremely low income, they can't even afford gas masks and can only use wet cloths to cover their noses and mouths, working in a toxic gas environment for long periods. The average lifespan of these workers does not exceed 30 years. Rank 7, Bullfighter. This is an extremely dangerous profession. The bulls in the arena are mostly fierce North African bulls. Bulls. These bulls are specially bred by experts with an extremely aggressive and ferocious temperament. When a bullfighter enters the arena, they can be thrown by a 500-kilogram bull at any moment, or be gored by its horns. In cases of being gored, very few can survive. In 2016, a young bullfighter was gored in the head by a bull, then thrown into the air. As a result, he died instantly. Over the past 3 centuries, as many as 500 bullfighters have lost their lives to this sport. Some were gored in the head, some were pierced through the chest, others were trampled to death. Therefore, this is undoubtedly an extremely dangerous job. However, if a bullfight is successfully completed, the fighter will receive a generous reward. The payment for a single bullfight is usually around $10,000. The top bullfighters in Spain can even earn $1 million per fight. Rank 6, Golf Ball Diver. Golf is a well-known sport, but the job of a golf ball diver might be something many people are hearing about for the first time. Especially when you learn that this job can bring in an income of $150,000 per year. Does that make you more interested? As the name suggests, golf ball divers must wear specialized diving gear, dive into the ponds on golf courses, and retrieve golf balls that have fallen into the water. Each year, on golf courses worldwide, tens of thousands of golf balls end up in the water. They never have to worry about a lack of work. But this job is not without risks. Not all underwater creatures are friendly to humans. There was a case where a person at Kruger National Park, South Africa, was attacked by a crocodile while retrieving golf balls. Perhaps the crocodile never knew that the person was just trying to collect golf balls, not intending to attack it. Rank 5, skyscraper window cleaner. High-rise window cleaners, as the name suggests, are workers who clean the windows and exterior surfaces of skyscrapers. Because they have to dangle outside buildings, they are also called Spider-Men. To do this job, you must not be afraid of heights. Additionally, you need nerves of steel. The danger level of this job is unquestionable. They must work with absolute precision, or the consequences can be severe. Before starting their tasks, they must thoroughly check and prepare safety measures. Everything must be secured before they can begin work. If they accidentally slip and fall, the chances of survival are very low. Harsh weather is their biggest enemy. They cannot always work as their schedules are planned in advance. If the wind is too strong that day, they may have to take the risk. However, worldwide, the fatality rate for this job is not high, but that does not make it any less terrifying. Most people would likely have trembling legs even before being suspended in the air. Rank 4, firefighter. Every day all over the world, fires and entrapments occur continuously. At these times, firefighters are the ones called upon to rescue and extinguish the flames. When a fire breaks out, they are the first to rush to the scene, protecting lives and property. In cases such as suicide attempts by jumping, firefighters also take on the role of rescuers. In many disasters, the number of firefighters who sacrifice their lives is sometimes even higher than the number of people they save. Even more so because firefighters always go against the tide. Every firefighter fully understands the dangers and responsibilities they face, yet they remain courageous, charging into danger first, completing every mission. According to statistics, for every 100,000 fires, 2.3 firefighters lose their lives. They go against the tide because the lives of civilians matter more than their own. For instance, in the severe fire disaster in Tianjin in 2015, the death toll was 165, of which over 100 were firefighters. Firefighters are highly respected, but the dangers they face and their salaries are not proportional. Honoring firefighters, this is one of the most dangerous professions and also one of the highest paying ones. Rank 3, coal mine workers. This job in any country is one of the most dangerous professions. According to statistics, every year worldwide, tens of thousands of people die due to mining accidents. Since 1900 in the United States alone, the number of deaths from mining accidents has exceeded 100,000. Globally, this number is even higher. This job is mainly dangerous due to mine collapses, gas explosions, and gas poisoning. In pitch-black tunnels with zero visibility, large amounts of methane gas accumulate. When exposed to fire, this gas can cause massive explosions. In such an environment, if an accident occurs, the chances of survival are almost non-existent. Not only that, due to prolonged exposure to the mining environment, these workers inhale a large amount of toxic substances. They are at high risk of developing chronic lung diseases, which significantly shortens their lifespan. Once afflicted by these diseases, they can only rely on medical equipment to sustain life. From both a long-term and short-term perspective, this job is extremely hazardous. Moreover, it is truly a trade of life for money. Rank 2, lumberjack. You might think this job is not too dangerous. However, most people underestimate its level of risk. In reality, the danger of this profession goes far beyond what you can imagine. The average annual salary of a lumberjack exceeds $120,000. For an average family, this is truly a good income. However, this job also comes with many risks. In fact, it is even called the widowmaker. In the US, the fatality rate for lumberjacks reaches 0.09%. It may not sound high, but this number is 30 times higher than the average worker fatality rate. It's even higher than that of the military. It's no exaggeration to say that lumberjacking is one of the most dangerous jobs in the US. Their main tool is the chainsaw. The moment they turn it on, the danger begins. Imagine, if a tool capable of cutting down a tree were to come into contact with the human body, what would happen? Just thinking about it is terrifying. Moreover, cutting down trees is no easy task. It is a high-intensity job. While cutting, they must constantly watch out for falling debris and branches. After felling a tree, lumberjacks must stay highly focused to avoid falling trees. A single mistake can lead to an accident. Furthermore, they often work in remote areas or under harsh environmental conditions. Some places are so cold that they can be life-threatening. Additionally, sparks from power saws cutting wood can cause wildfires. Rank 1, Alaska crab fisherman. Surely everyone has eaten king crab before. But did you know that king crab fishing is one of the highest paying and most dangerous jobs in the world? According to statistics, a skilled fisherman can earn a significant amount of money after just 5 days at sea. They can make up to $100,000 in wages. However, high pay often comes with extreme risks. The fatality rate for crab fishing is 20 times higher than that of regular jobs. On average, every 7 days, a crab fisherman loses their life. To catch the large, meaty king crabs, fishing vessels must venture into the Bering Strait, where the weather is extremely harsh. They use cages weighing over 700 pounds, dropping them into deep waters to trap crabs. Fishermen not only endure fierce storms and rough waves, but also freezing temperatures of dozens of degrees below zero and grueling shifts lasting dozens of hours under incredibly harsh conditions. Moreover, massive metal cages filled with crabs can be tossed around by giant waves at any moment, delivering deadly blows. In this environment, there is always a risk of being swept into the sea. Once someone falls into the water, survival is nearly impossible.